Hi, everybody. It's Linda G. And it's October, what is it? Today's the 15th. I'm going to be heading out to the beach house, not my beach house, but I rented a beach house with my bunco girlfriends and to chillax, if you know what I'm saying. And yeah, so the Giants lost, but it's less stress for me because now I don't have to worry about any more games. So anyway, yeah, like I told you, I can't read on my own teams. I can't tell you. But as you know, there was a bad call. Apparently he called it that the guy had struck out, and even the guys who were emceeing the show that I think were in love with the LA Dodgers said it was a bad call. So they could have they could have been a contender, but congratulations to the Giants. I think they did a good job. Okay, so listen, I just wanted to come on here real quick. Can't stay too long. That I just want to tell you that I asked my guides this morning because when I heard that President Clinton was in the hospital, of course, I worried if it's sepsis, you know, with his heart condition. He's the same age as Donald Trump. And I just want you to know that psychically, when I calmed down, because when I first told you somebody rather large, and I didn't know if it's a media or politics, a male was going to pass. And I thought, oh God, is it him? And I heard, no, it's not him. He'll get over this. Although I've never felt he was going to have a real long time on this earth because of his situations with his heart stuff. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is like my psychic impression. You can take it or leave it, but you know, believe or not believe. So I also wanted to tell you, just now they said that the Biden administration will ask the Supreme Court to block the Texas. That's going to be a fisticuffs. We're getting ready to fight now because if you know, remember that they're reviewing about packing the Supreme Court. The Biden administration is. So we'll see what goes on there. There was another hit I had that I wanted to tell you. I know that it's not Clinton. I'll be honest with you, when I did the spread, it felt more, even though, you know, I did have a dream that he had passed, but it was more somebody pretty old, and it could have been someone like Carter or Grassley or something like that. It was just this weird hit that I had. And I wanted to remind you guys, and I probably already said this before, someone had mentioned this on MSNBC, and it's totally correct. If Barr had thought there was at least bit damage here from outside entities defrauding and this government steal, he would have been on it like flies to you know what. So just know that he would have been on it. And you know who's in real trouble is the guy that was giving Trump all the backroom, you know, chit chat. Trouble. I do see Bannon in trouble too. Somebody on MSNBC this morning was saying, well, you know, they can do this. It doesn't necessarily mean he'll go to jail. No, he's going to jail. It might not be about not showing up or not testifying, but I do see jail for him. Remember, it's like this bubble burst. So I don't know what's going to happen if Trump gets plowed down so hard and they can't do anything. With him, I think New York is going to come up. I know we've been talking about this till I'm blue in the face, but New York is going to come up with a with something against Trump. It's money. I told you it's money. And don't forget, I think the other woman is Ivanka. I really do. So as he goes kicking and screaming, know that it's being numbered. I mean, the only reason I'm on this show is to let you guys know that his days are numbered. They will change the law. I was surprised to hear that they actually said it's okay to run over a protester. That will get changed. Don't worry about it. Abstract asked, do you know what reconnection healing is? No, I don't. I'd love to know. Prince Andrew's in trouble, Kim. He's in trouble, girl. I can guarantee that. Mickey, that's so funny you said that, because I just now, when I'm reading this, I said yes. They said yes. Will they stop taxing Social Security? They will, but not for people who are very wealthy. So people who are really making fat will get taxed. People who are just living on that won't get taxed, okay? Amen. Stephanie Craig says, hey, Linda, when the whole Pluto thing is in retrograde stuff. So, you know, I don't speak the language, but my dear friend, Astrology Alert, Andre, he speaks the language. And it has been cray. Simple things, just simple things. Barbara, that's an interesting question. Barbara wants to know, when you die, do you have a life review? Absolutely. That's part of what they talk about is a hell situation, because what happens is, if you did cruelty in your life, even things that you may unconsciously didn't mean to do, you've got to live what the other person felt. So it's, now I'm going to tell you something else. Okay. So that's sort of like a purgatory. You're going through, you have to feel and know everything. That's why a lot of these, like, parents coming through, I just read a woman, her dad was in the military, and he was very, you know, like my dad. And he was very sorry. You know, he thought that's how you showed love. You give them restrictions, you make them self-preserved, but you really don't, you should not treat, kids don't ask to be here. They make agreements, but really, how can a little child decide, oh, I don't want your rules, so I'm going to move out? I mean, you got to go with the rules, but show a little mercy, you know. I was always told, this is my house, these are my things, you're lucky to have a roof over your head. It's not a very endearing feeling, you know. I never felt like it was mine. So that's why even this house I have now, let me tell you, it's just as much my kids as mine. I never say, well, it's my house, except to my ex-husband. Excuse me, this is my house. He'd be like, what are you doing? Why are you putting that there? I know you ain't talking to me, sucker. Anyway, Bannon will try to tie up things in court. Thank you for this, Mariana. He will try to tie things up in court, but I don't see him being able to do it. I almost see bada bing, bada boom. It's weird. And don't you love how those Jeff Rosen something? Don't you love how they're already talking? They're already talking. In fact, Trump was praising Mark Meadows, and come to find out Mark Meadows is talking to him. Next thing you'll know, I'll talk about him like he's trash. Sammy Joe said, we all enjoy hearing about how the bad guys are going down, but does our glee interfere with our own spiritual growth? Thank you so much, Sammy, for this question. Because you're absolutely right. Remember when we were all just frothing at the mouth, talking about Trump, oh, he needs to go, you know, SOB and all that. And my guide said, shh, tell everybody, stop it. Stop it. You know, yeah, I can see us eating our popcorn, watching Trump being shipped off. But stop it. Because what we do is we do interrupt our own spiritual agreement. The law of the higher powers, or of the God force, or the love force, or Allah, or whatever you want to call it, the law is mercy. There's love and mercy. And great love is merciful. So I know it's hard to think that, because I got mean emails after that. Linda, how could you say that about this SOB? He's cruel. He's been cruel to the immigrants. Yes, this is true. You don't have to love him. You don't have to forgive him, although it's better for your own spiritual energy if you can. But don't hold on to it so strongly, because it puts you in what they call a state of resistance. And then when you're in that state, it creates chaos within your own energy. So try the best as you can, even with someone in your life. Oh, dear God, I can't stand that person, you know. You have to be careful about judging. Paula says she's heard of another stimulus check for Social Security. I think there's a stimulus check in one of these New Deal things that Biden is trying to get through. Okay. Can you look at Texas? What will happen with the abortion ban? Yeah. You know, and here's the other thing. The Republicans are talking amongst themselves and even talking to Liz Cheney, like, you go, girl. But they're so worried about losing their strength. And Trump is becoming an emperor, you know. He's like, that's the other thing I needed to tell you, because he's acting like, you listen to me or you're cut out, sucker. Well, you know how he just announced that no Republican is going to vote in 2022 or 2024. Not until they make it right. Not until they prove that this was stolen from me. And he really thinks he has that kind of power, which in turn is causing the Republicans to talk amongst themselves. Now, there's some good Republicans out there that are still staying Republican because they know that eventually this too shall pass. But what I got was, I thought, oh my God, is he really that stupid? But I heard from my higher energy, no, he is, but he thinks he's all that, a cup of tea. But what he is doing is he wants everybody to be desperate enough to move mountains to make sure that it's proven that this is a sting operation, like they deliberately took it from him. Like right now, they're taking down that guy in Michigan, that judge with those fake subpoenas. They're saying this is nothing. Get the hell out of here. Get away from us. So, but Trump is so desperate for them to make this lie for real that he's saying that kind of stuff to create chaos and also make his people like do anything, to try anything, but they aren't. They're talking amongst themselves because he's out to lunch. It's not the way it's played. Okay. Lisa said, well, with Halloween approaching, is the veil between the spirit world and us really thinner? Absolutely, yes. It's always been, we've been able to tap in, but if you'll notice, it could be because of the cameras we have and stuff, but there are more sightings, ghost sightings. I don't go with the ghost thing. I don't see ghostesses. It's not my deal, but I am hearing better. I can hear things almost like just look at it and I can feel it, but I have to allow it too, because they're not allowed near me unless I decide to. Remember that one time I was flying and the stewardess, I was in first class. It was just from Oklahoma. So it's not really just a higher seat in the front. And she said, Miss Linda, is there anything else I can get you? And I was reading something and I looked up at her and I saw her father standing there. And I was like, oh, dear God, please, no. And so I begged him to go away. And he said, please tell her that her sister's going to be all right. Please tell her mother that her sister's going to be all right. And I just broke it. And I just said, do you know what a psychic medium is? And she kind of looked at me strangely. And I said, I'm what they call a psychic medium. And your father is standing here. And he wants me to tell you that your sister's going to be all right. There, I said it. And I looked down and I heard her say, Miss Linda, and I was waiting for her. I don't have a clue what you talking about, girlfriend. She said, Miss Linda, you see the scarf around my neck? That was my daddy's scarf. And yes, my mama and I are very worried about my sister. I will tell her the news. Thank you so much. And it felt good. I said it and she didn't harass me after that, like sit and say, tell me more, I worry about that too. That's especially when I'm with friends and they say, oh, she's psychic. And everybody's like, what do you pick up? They always put their hand out. I'm not a palm reader. Okay. This is interesting. Erica wants to know what's going on with Andrew Cuomo. Andrew, he feels a little isolated, feels a little grubby, he feels a little needy. He's biding his time. He might try to come back into politics down the road here. He's even saying if a man can grab women by the private and become president. There's lawsuits he's dealing with, so I guess some of these people are suing him. He feels like he's lost hope. It feels very sad. Feels very sad. The whole family is very sad about this. So, you know, he was a little pompous and he came in like king for a day, and I think he thought he was all that in a cup of tea. But he's struggling, he's suffering. And so in that, you hope he finds his soul energy and he awakens. As long as we don't keep holding a grudge. Oh, Angela said, hey, listen, has anyone in the chat asked you about getting a letter from Kristen Cinnamon Bun, I like to call her, asking for donations? I have been donating to the Democrats for a while now. And last week I received my first letter from Cinema. Why now? And no, I will not send her a donation. She's even going to Europe to get donations. This is what you call that thing where poor people who really didn't have much get a taste of it and they want more. So I feel like she never really had money and didn't realize the potential she could make. And she's so focused in on the money, she doesn't care about American people. Her approval rating is so low, but she doesn't care. She'll keep doing this till she can accumulate everything she can. They may impeach her because she's not up for grabs till 2026, I think. But they may decide to get rid of her because she's just worthless. So no, I would not give money to her at all. Jesus, girlfriend, how do you do with all those? I give Mark Kelly, I give to everybody. And what happens is they just keep sending you, we really need it. We're desperate. We really need it. I actually caught another one from Gavin Newsom. Hello, he won. And he got more money than God. And he's asking me, please, please. I said, please, please get these gas prices down. Shoot, $5 a gallon. Shoot. Will Biden be president again next term? I feel now, you know, he's not even thinking like of that. He's desperately trying to get things done. I think more towards when it's time to change. I'll let you know then, but right now I feel he's not considering it. But I don't feel he's like, we'll see how I feel, because he's already exhausted. And I think his wife is worried about him. Oh, did you see that Tucker Carlson is talking trash about Pete Buttigieg and his husband with their twins? Oh, he took paternity leave. Well, so how does that do for breastfeeding? I mean, this guy is a homophobic idiot. What's going to happen to Tucker? Can you tell me? What's going to happen to Tucker Carlson? His mouth is going to say the wrong thing, something else. It's even beyond this. Because what's happening is people are just not even engaging him. He's not. I actually see a big scandal. Something's coming up for him. And he may be taken off Fox News. Those people that still are crazy about him. Again, it's like Kristen Cinnamon Bun. They don't care about who they're hurting and what they're doing. It's all about the money. If it gets more press, if it gets more people, and I'm so sorry, you guys, but that's the way of the world. So you got to trust the ones who stand up for righteousness and say, hey, no, enough. Because a lot of these people, especially men, are using their power to, you know, manipulate women and treat women bad. It's the good old boys. And did you see that school that decided, oh, if you're going to teach about the Holocaust, then you need to give something different that has a different opinion too. It's amazing. It's amazing. But what I asked my guides when I heard that, and it was so heartbreaking, they said that what's happening, and I'm so sorry it's going to take so long, but what's happening is a lot of this anger and stuff it's going to die off. Because this nation is going to be accumulated with all nations, with all colors. And you can't hold on to that sort of anger for too long. It doesn't have to be that you don't like certain, like I told you, I dated a Chinese guy that he couldn't even introduce me to his parents because they were living in San Francisco, but they could not allow him to be with an American girl or a Korean girl or anything but a Chinese girl, because that's their tradition. That's the way it is. So you've got these people with tradition that think that, oh, this is the way it is, or their parents said this. This will wear off because the veil is thinning. There's so many things we're going to be able to witness. And really just remember, like that Starman, that movie Starman, he said, the one thing I noticed about human beings is when things are really bad is when you're the kindest and the best, because we do come together as a nation. We really do. So I just want you to know that Bill Clinton right now, I feel he'll go home. He feels weak though, but I'm not feeling horrible. And I do not see Hillary Clinton on the Supreme Court. Sorry, people were asking me that. Hillary Clinton's not doing so good either physically. She's relaxing. I saw a picture of her the other day and she's like me. She gained all her COVID weight. And she just, loves those kids. I feel like they really love those babies. Don't take out their daughter either. I think she's got something big to do in this world. So smart, like her parents. So smart. Just like Eric and Donald Jr. Oh, sorry. Are you guys busting out? And I want to thank I didn't leave her name here, but I got some new cards. Damn it. I can't believe I don't have your name right here. Hold on. Thought I did. This is the wrong person. Okay, honey, I'm so sorry. Write me and give me and tell me when you, because here's the back of them. No, here's the back of them. Excuse my nails. I had her take off all my nails. And here's the front. Kind of cool. So I'm going to check these out. And Tana wants to thank all of you. She's got business through February now. She's doing good. So, okay, you guys. And also, I want to remind those who make appointments with me for readings. I just want you to know the reason I don't do Zoom. First of all, Zoom doesn't allow me to transfer an hour reading. Second of all, Zoom, even if it's on your end, usually the files are too big to even transfer. And I get up at 6 something in the morning. And so, unless it's an international call, I don't do Zoom. That's it. And then I call from a block number, unlisted number. So you won't see who it is. So many times people have said, well, it was blocked, so I didn't answer it. It was an unlisted number, so I didn't answer it. It's me, especially if it's the time you're supposed to be doing it. And I'm having a reading today with this guy, Frank, and I'll let you guys know how it is. He was supposed to read me last week. And unfortunately, the same thing that I tell you guys happened to me. I'm like, who would be calling me from Texas? Oh, hell no, I ain't answering this. It was him. It was exactly at the time he was supposed to call me. And I was so depressed because it took 18 months to get this appointment before he could read me. So he's calling me today. I'll be en route, but I got my earbuds and I'll talk to him in the car. And I'll make somebody else drive while I'm talking to him. But I'll let you know if he was really good. But it's 18 months. You guys get mad at me because it's what I'm booking now. And well, I have a couple of more openings in April. but then I'll be in May. So, okay, you guys, love you all. I'll talk to you. I won't be doing my Sunday for my members, but I'll be doing it on Monday. Thanks a lot.